Welcome back, everybody, to Lucky Fortune English. I'm Vincent.
And I'm Jenny.
Today, we're going to do a deep dive into something pretty cool,
Mm.
especially for all of our Sagittarius listeners out there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got your 2025 horoscope,
Right.
and we're going to focus on love and career.
That sounds good.
And this is all based on some really interesting Chinese astrology.
All right, so
Yeah.
it looks like Sagittarius is going to have a really powerful year.
Okay.
So think of 2025 as like a big cosmic reset
Mm-hmm.
after maybe kind of a tough 2024.
Yeah.
You're heading into a time of healing and growth and finding stability.
Healing, huh? So you're talking about Saturn and Neptune kind of easing up on their influence.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean for our listeners out there? What does that mean in practical terms?
Well, Saturn is all about discipline and setting boundaries.
Hmm.
And Neptune, it governs dreams and illusions.
Oh, okay.
So together, they might have made you feel a little bit stuck or unsure of where you're going.
Right.
But their intensity is fading in 2025.
Hmm.
So you can expect to feel lighter and clearer and just have more energy.
So it's like you're stepping out of a fog and then you can finally see the path ahead.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in addition to all that, Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, is moving into a better spot starting in June,
Oh, wow.
which means that things are going to start flowing a little smoother.
Okay.
It'll be easier to reach your goals and just generally feel good.
That's great. That's great news.
Okay.
Okay, let's break this down a bit further.
Sure.
And let's start with career.
All right.
What does this forecast say about Sagittarius's professional life in 2025?
One of the big themes for your career is independence and setting boundaries.
Okay.
It seems like all those tough times in the past few years, especially with Saturn,
Hmm.
it's taught you a lot about resilience and self-reliance.
So it's about being a little more discerning with where you're spending your time and energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about saying yes to everything or trying to make everyone happy.
Hmm.
It's about knowing what you're worth and choosing carefully which projects and people to work with.
Okay, and that really resonates with the whole growth thing you mentioned earlier.
Right.
How might that apply to a Sagittarius's personal life as well?
Well, you got to apply those same ideas about being discerning and setting boundaries to your relationships, too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let go of some friendships that aren't good for you anymore,
Yeah.
or be more upfront about what you need, or just spend more time by yourself to recharge.
So 2025 is really all about prioritizing what truly matters, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, you got it. It's about taking charge of your journey and making a life that's true to yourself.
That's really empowering stuff.
Mhm.
Are there any specific times in 2025 when Sagittarius should really be focused on their career?
There are a few times when you're going to be in the cosmic spotlight,
Okay.
perfect for making big career moves. You got to pay attention to March, April, and July.
Okay.
For example, from March 3rd to the 30th,
Mm.
and then again from April 16th to May 10th, Mercury's going to line up with the Sun and Venus in Aries.
Okay.
This creates a really strong push to take action and maybe make some big changes in your career.
So those are like the times to really seize opportunities and step outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. You got to embrace change during these times.
Okay.
Especially with Mars giving you that extra energy in April and May. It's like a cosmic green light to take on new challenges, lead some projects,
Mhm.
or even switch to a workplace that fits you better.
Sounds like a time to really take some leaps and bounds career-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other opportunities that Sagittarius should be looking out for?
Definitely. From July 26th to September 2nd,
Okay.
Mercury is going to be in Leo. This will make you more visible,
Mm.
and you'll get support from some influential people.
Oh, nice.
This is the time to show off your ideas, look for collaborations, and
Yeah.
really make a name for yourself.
So July and August are all about really showcasing your talents
Yeah.
and making connections that'll help you move forward. Cool. And then what about towards the end of the year?
Well, from October 29th to November 19th, and then
Mhm.
again from December 12th into early 2026, Mercury is going to be back in Sagittarius.
Okay.
This is when you should be thinking about what you've done,
Right.
making adjustments and planning for the next year.
So kind of like a cosmic review and reset to end the year and get ready for 2026.
Exactly. It's about seeing what you've accomplished,
Yeah.
fixing things if you need to, and using that momentum to keep moving forward.
Okay. Now, we can't forget about love.
Right.
What's 2025 looking like for Sagittarius in the romance department?
It looks like love is definitely in the air for you.
Right.
The forecast says there's some exciting stuff coming your way. starting with a breath of fresh air and love thanks to Venus in Aries from February 4th to March 27th,
Okay.
and then again from April 30th to June 6th.
Breath of fresh air. So what's that going to look like for someone who's single versus someone who's already in a relationship?
Well, if you're single,
Yeah.
it could mean meeting someone who really catches your eye, someone who's different from people you've dated before. You might even experience love at first sight,
Wow.
or a connection that feels super important right away.
Oh.
This could be connected to Chiron, the wounded healer, too.
A Chiron influence.
Ah.
That's interesting. Could that mean meeting someone who kind of pushes you to grow or deal with past hurts?
Yeah, it could be a connection that goes deeper than just the surface. Someone who really sees you and understands you and maybe even helps you heal or grow in ways you weren't expecting.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
And for those who are already in a relationship?
It seems like couples might feel that spark again.
Okay.
A renewed sense of connection and a desire to try new things together.
So whether you're single or taken, 2025 sounds like it's got a lot of romantic potential.
It does.
That's fantastic. Are there any specific months where Cupid's arrows are flying especially fast for Sagittarius?
May is going to be a super passionate month for meeting new people with potential for whirlwind romances and even moving in together.
Wow. Things could move fast in May. Anything else to look forward to on the love front?
The summer months are looking pretty lively, too.
Okay.
Venus in Leo from August 25th to September 19th, with some help from Mars, is going to spark a time of romantic adventures, passions reigniting, and rediscovering old connections.
Summer loving. All right. Anything else?
The holidays are looking magical.
Oh, nice.
From November 30th to December 24th.
Okay.
It seems like you'll be feeling pursued, desired, and loved for those in relationships.
Yeah.
This could be a time of being really close and rekindling that passion.
Right.
Singles might even meet someone special, maybe from a different background or while traveling.
Wow. So a romantic ending to a year that's already looking pretty amazing for Sagittarius.
It is.
But hold on, listeners. We've got more to unpack in this deep dive. We'll be back in a flash. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back.
As we dig a little bit deeper into this 2025 forecast for Sagittarius, I'm really noticing this theme of self-discovery. It's almost like the stars are aligning to help you become your most authentic self this year.
Yeah, it's definitely there in both the career stuff and the love stuff we talked about. In your career, it's about knowing your worth, setting those boundaries, and going after what truly makes you happy.
Okay.
And in love, it's about being open to new things, trusting your gut, and letting yourself be vulnerable.
So it's not just about you growing as a person, but also about how those changes affect your relationships, both romantic and professional.
Exactly. As you become more true to yourself, you'll attract people and opportunities that match your energy.
That makes a lot of sense. So if we look at the big picture, what does this forecast tell us about the overall vibe of 2025 for Sagittarius?
It's all about empowerment, authenticity, and expansion.
Okay.
It's time to ditch those old patterns that don't work for you anymore, embrace your potential, and build a life that really shows who you are at your core.
That's powerful. And you know what? It's inspiring for anyone listening, no matter what their sign is.
Yep.
Because who doesn't want to feel empowered, be themselves, and see what's out there?
Exactly. These insights from astrology can be helpful and inspiring, even if you don't follow it that closely.
Now, before we wrap up this part, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about setting boundaries.
Yeah.
That could be tough, especially for a Sagittarius who's naturally enthusiastic and outgoing. Any tips on finding that balance?
It's about finding that sweet spot between being open and generous while also protecting your energy and well-being. You got to start by being super clear about your own needs and limits. What are your non-negotiables? What are you willing to bend on?
So self-awareness is key.
Yes. Once you have that inner compass, it's easier to tell people your boundaries, whether it's at work or in a personal relationship. Remember, setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's about respecting your needs and having healthy relationships. It's about making sure you can give your best to the people and things that really matter to you.
That's a really helpful way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear more about this possibility of love at first sight or meeting someone significant early in the year. What are your thoughts on that?
The thing that stands out is Chiron's influence. Remember, Chiron is like the wounded healer in astrology.
Right.
Its presence here suggests that this potential love connection could bring some deep healing or personal transformation for you.
So it's not just about the excitement and romance. It's about meeting someone who could also help you grow as a person.
Exactly. It's about connecting with someone who really gets you and maybe even helps you heal or grow in ways you never thought of.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It is. And remember, the forecast mentions a few other times throughout the year when romantic energy is high, like May and the summer months. So love is definitely out there for you in 2025.
Exciting times. All right, let's bring it back down to earth for a minute and talk about some practical things Sagittarius can do to make the most of this promising forecast. Where should they start?
A great place to begin is with that reflection the forecast talks about, especially towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Take some time to look back at 2025. See what you've done, pinpoint where you've grown, and think about what you want to achieve in the year ahead.
So like a year-end review, but with a cosmic twist.
Exactly. Use this time to set intentions. Get clear on your goals and make a plan for your continued growth and success. Remember, this forecast is more like a guide than a set of rules. You have the power to shape your own destiny.
I love that. Reflect, set intentions, and take action. Any other practical tips?
Since independence and boundary setting are so important, I'd suggest working on your self-reliance and assertiveness skills. That could mean learning to say no more gracefully or practicing confident communication at work.
Yeah, because saying no can be really hard, especially for people who like to make others happy.
It's true, but it's a crucial skill for protecting your time, energy, and sanity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not about becoming a recluse. It's about finding that balance between being generous and taking care of yourself. It's about knowing when to say yes wholeheartedly and when to politely decline so you can focus on your own well-being and goals. This deep dive has been so insightful. I'm already feeling more empowered and ready for 2025. How about you?
Me too. It's amazing how these forecasts remind us that we're all on a journey of growth and discovery. There are always opportunities to learn, grow, and change. It's all about staying open to possibilities and trusting the journey.
Well said. This conversation has been so enlightening, but we're running out of time for this part. But don't worry, we have one more part to this deep dive where we'll wrap things up and leave you with some final thoughts to ponder. Stay tuned.
Oh.
All right, and we're back for the last part of our deep dive into the 2025 Sagittarius horoscope.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
from career and love to self-discovery and setting boundaries. But before we wrap up, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
The forecast mentions that Sagittarius might have chances to check out new career paths or take on different roles, especially early in the year and then again in those last 2 months.
Right.
What advice do you have for navigating those kinds of shifts?
I think it's all about being curious and open to new things. This could be a year where you really branch out and try new stuff. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
Okay.
You never know where those explorations might take you.
So embrace the unknown and see what happens.
Exactly. And remember, it doesn't have to be a huge change all at once.
Yeah.
Sometimes small steps can lead to the biggest transformations. It
Yeah.
could be taking on a new project at work, volunteering for a different role, or even just exploring a new skill or interest in your free time.
So following your curiosity and seeing where it leads.
Precisely. And if you find yourself drawn to a whole different career path,
Yeah.
don't just brush it off as a silly thought.
Right.
Take some time to think about those feelings, do some research, and see if it's something you really want to go for.
So it's about trusting your gut and being brave enough to explore those options.
Yep.
Now, one last thing that stuck out to me of the forecast is the advice for Sagittarius to not just rely on luck in 2025, and instead focus on using their strengths and taking action towards their goals.
How can Sagittarius actually put that into practice?
It's a good reminder that while luck can be a factor, you have the power to create your own opportunities.
Okay.
This might mean making a conscious effort to learn new skills, build your knowledge or network with people in your field.
So it's about being proactive and taking charge of your career path.
Exactly. See what you're good at and use those skills to create the future you want. Don't wait for things to happen, make them happen.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. What are your final thoughts for our Sagittarius listeners as they head into 2025?
I'd say embrace all the energy of change in 2025 with open arms and a curious mind. This is your year to step into your power, be true to yourself, and create a life that truly reflects your dreams.
And for those who aren't Sagittarius, remember that these themes of empowerment, authenticity, and growth are for everyone.
Right.
We can all benefit from embracing our individuality, setting healthy boundaries, and taking steps towards our goals. Absolutely. So as we say goodbye to 2024 and head into the new year, let's all remember to shine bright trick, trust our instincts, and keep exploring all the possibilities that life throws our way.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the 2025 Sagittarius horoscope. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe to Lucky Fortune English for more deep dives on topics you care about.
Yes.
And hey, who knows, subscribing might just bring you a little extra luck.
It might.
See you again.
Subscribing to our channel will bring you good luck. See you again.